xplanehelp.co.uk, Bell 407 Jet Ranger, Cold and Dark Start checklist. This Cold and Dark checklist will take you through how to start the systems and the engine on the Bell 407 Jet Ranger helicopter by Dreamfoil. A quick note before this video starts: slight problem in the minute with my sound on this video, which means my voice is echoing, so apologies for that. So, first of all, we'll always start off in the cockpit. We want to go to an external view, so now we're looking at the helicopter from behind. First thing we need to do is, on the end of the rotors, you can see there are red covers with cables going down to the helicopter's base. What you need to do is click on these covers, like so, to remove the cover and the cable. Next, go to the exhaust outlet here and click on the red cover to remove that, and the air inlet here to remove this cover. And then finally, before we're going to start the aircraft, we need to click on this hatch. On this helicopter, there are special features in certain areas. Now, to access these special features, the cursor, if you hover over a certain area, will change to a hand, and that indicates it's a special feature. Click on the hand, and inside here is the battery compartment for this particular aircraft. If this cable looks like this, i.e. not connected, click on the cable to connect it. This is the battery cable, must be connected. To close the hatch, simply hover the mouse over here and then the cursor changes to a hand, close the hatch. We are now done with the outside check of the aircraft for the moment. Or just a little FYI, if you want to add or remove fuel, if you hover over this little graphic here, which is your fuel cap, you'll notice it changes to a fuel pump nozzle. Click on that, and you'll see that as you move your mouse around this circle, you'll notice that the litres change in value. So if you bring the cursor back here, it gives you less fuel, and if you take the cursor around to the top, it gives you more fuel. For a quick test flight, we're going to go with about that too. So all you do is you just click on it like that, and that sets the amount of fuel you've got in the tank. Okay. Right, now we've done that, we're now going to go off inside the aircraft, and we're going to start the aircraft up. So here we are inside the aircraft. As you can see, everything is all turned off, all systems are off, and it all needs to be started. Before you start, we need to connect the GPU. To connect the GPU, go to the top right hand side of the main control panel with instrumentation and click on this area here. You'll notice that your cursor becomes a hand. Click on that, and it reveals a menu. On this menu, click Customize, and then click GPU, Ground Power Unit, highlighted in blue, and all your systems are now going to come alive. To get rid of the menu, just click up on here, and then the menu's gone. So, as the ground power unit is now powering the helicopter, you can see the ground power unit out the window down here. So, first thing we need to do is we are going to remove these headphones, and what we're going to do is if you put the mouse over the earphones, it changes to a hand. Click on that, earphones, and that simulates the pilot, you, putting the earphones on your head. Now what you're going to do is go down to the climb arm, which is down here, and we're going to just double check that the climb arm is fully down. And also what we're going to do is you're making sure that whatever control you've assigned to your climb arm is actually working with the climb arm. So there you go, climb arm is now fully down. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over the top here, and we're going to check that all switches on here are off on the overhead panel. The only switch that will be on will be your hydraulic switch, which is this one here. That's always on by default. You can turn it off, but you're going to need it on anyway. So, with all switches being off, let's get it started. First thing we need to do, let's turn on the position light and the anti-collision light. That indicates to the outside world, in our outside environment, that we're about to start the engine. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to go to the battery, which is this one over here, and we're going to turn the battery on. You just simply highlight the mouse over it, it becomes a hand, and you click on it, and then the battery is turned on. Next is your Avionics Master. Click that one, that's on now. Now we're going to go up to Boost XFR, which are these yellow these two switches here. One's got a yellow box around it. On this one here, click left, click right. On the instrument panel fuel valve, which is located down here, click on the red cover, and the cover will rise, allowing you to access the fuel valve. Again, highlight the mouse over it, it becomes a hand, click on that, and the fuel valve is now on. Now what we're going to do is, on the overhead panel, if you want to, this, just going to very quickly simulate this, air conditioning, we're going to click low on there, both set to low, and you can hear the air conditioning in the background starting up. Also on the overhead panel, we are going to go to flight instruments. We're going to turn these all on, so DG, ATT, and turn. Now we're going to go down to the pitot heat, which is a very important piece of equipment outside the aircraft. We're going to turn this on. What the pitot heat does, there's pitot rods outside the aircraft which measure airflow and air pressure, I believe, and they need to be prevented from icing up. And if you're flying at altitude, not obviously high altitude because a helicopter wouldn't do that, that stops the pitot tubes from heat from icing up. Now, what we're going to do is go back down to the instrument panel, and you'll see down here this horizon indicator. Tells you if you're obviously if you're flying an angle whichever of the horizon, if you're balanced on the horizon. Pull to the cage, just press that, and that will reset itself to the correct horizon. I didn't describe that to you well, sorry. Okay, now we're going to go down to the Garmin panel, which is down here. This is your navigation panel. To turn the panel on, the C button here, press that, and the Garmin panel will turn on. There is a video that will be made later on to show you how to use that, but for now just turn that on. Fuel valve, we're confirming that it's switched on, and it is, and what we are going to do on that is we're going to flip the cover back down. If you flip the cover back down, that means now that you're not going to be able to click it down by accident and turn your fuel off. Confirm FADEC mode is set to auto. I'll go into that a bit later what that does, but you can either set it to auto or manual. I've got it set to auto, and there will be a video to explain about how that works. So now what we're going to do, we're getting close to starting the engine now. So very quick look around the aircraft to make sure that in the real world no one's around the aircraft, there's no vehicles nearby. Obviously in a simulated environment there's nothing happening, but I guess you do this in the real world to make sure that there's nothing that's around you while you're getting ready that you can cause damage to or be damaged by. So, let's go down to the throttle arm. Now, on the throttle arm, you need to click on the start button here. The start button's just make the camera angle a little bit better, that's right. There we go. Perfect. Right. Okay. On the throttle arm, click start by simply flicking the switch forward. And if you look down here, this is where you need to monitor your instrumentation. You need to make sure that the RPM is starting to climb. That's all good. So now what we're going to do is we're now going to go to the overhead panel, and we are going to click on the Gen button here. We're going to click down. And then we're going to go down to the throttle ring again, and you're going to turn the ring to idle. And then we're going to go to the start button here, and you're going to click disengage. Sorry, my mouse just fell on the floor there. Okay, now what you'll notice is when we hit the disengage switch, the Gen fail light is up here. That light must be that light must be turned out, and which it has gone out. That's absolutely fine. So now what we're going to do is going to back down to our instruments here, and we're going to make sure that everything is looking good in terms of RPMs. That's all good. Brilliant. Rotors are turning okay. If you look up here, you can see your rotor blades. And now what we're going to do is we're now going to disconnect external power by clicking back on this top right area here. Click Customize, click GPU, and in a second when I click that, the battery relay is going to go out. And there it is, the battery relay has gone out. And you can confirm this by looking down here, and our GPU, our ground power unit, has been taken away from the aircraft. Now what we're going to do is we are going to increase the idle speed on this ring here. And as you can hear, the engine pitch is changing, and also our RPMs are climbing, the torque is climbing as well. And there we go, we've now started, and the RPM light has just gone out on the warnings, more on the warning message panel, bringing the torque right up. And there we go, I've brought the torque right out, so the idle is gone right now to full, and the helicopter is now fully started, and we're all systems go. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have a quick take off and fly. I'm not going to land, that'll be done in another video, but this is how to start the Bell 407 Jet Ranger helicopter. To take off, start to apply power slowly by pulling the lever up, and as you can see we're starting to move. You'll notice the helicopter starting to steer to the right, so you want to just put a slight bit of left rudder on. Try and keep it as straight as you can. And there we go, we are now airborne. Try and locate a centre point that you can steer the aircraft towards. I'm steering it towards every tree I can, those central trees I can see over there. Main thing to remember when you're flying a helicopter is just keep an eye on your power, because if you put too much power on, it would appear that the engine overheats and causes the aircraft to shut down. That's what I've encountered anyway. And there we are, I'm gradually increasing the power. All my instrumentation is looking good. Altitude is now 1,500 feet. Airspeed is about 120 knots, and we are on we're just off of east at the moment. That's the second. Yeah, we're if I turn the aircraft left. Sorry about this, I've got a Jack Russell underneath my flight controller, and he's just decided to there we are. So we're now flying due north. And there we are. I hope you've enjoyed this video of how to start the Bell 407 Jet Ranger. This and many more videos on various aircraft are available for you to view at explainhelp.co.uk. Thank you for watching.